As Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi begins his third term in office, his cabinet will see no Muslim ministers for the first time in history. This comes as Muslim representation in Parliament continues to wane and as India's 200 million Muslims lag behind on key social and economic indicators. Analysts say while discrimination has deep historical roots, 10 years of Mr. Modi in charge has widened that divide even more. Rebecca Bundhun with this report.
Ashfaq Sheikh earns less than $100 a month, plying the streets of Mumbai as a rickshaw driver. It's a hard life, and Ashfaq believes that his financial struggles are partly linked to his religion. He's a Muslim, and he says that this holds him back from getting a better paying job.
जाते हैं काम के लिए तो ये देखते हैं वो जात पात देखते हैं लोग बोले ये जाते हैं तो इसलिए अभी मियाँ भाई का नाम सुनते तो नहीं रखते हैं.
Ashfaq's economic difficulties reflect that of many others in the Muslim community, who make up 14% of India's population. Official data shows that only 15% of Muslim workers were regularly employed in the financial year ending in March 2023. This contrasts with 21% among Hindus. Muslims also lag behind in other key indicators of socio-economic well-being. Only 8% of working Muslims have at least a university degree, against 15% of working Hindus. And compared to the national average, Muslims also own fewer assets and buy fewer consumer goods. Some analysts say a decade of the Hindu nationalist BJP in power has fueled religious divisions and further entrenched existing inequalities.
They are already disadvantaged in terms of numbers. Their access to education, their access to employment is restricted. I think what has happened in the last 10 years is that the rift has widened between the Muslim community and other communities. That rift has clearly been, there is a line which is being drawn, very deep line, and it will be difficult to remove that line easily.
But Sanjay Ranade says that one government cannot be blamed for the disparity because it has been an issue for decades. India was under Muslim rule until the 19th century. Then, when the Indian subcontinent gained independence from the British in 1947, it was split into the Hindu-majority India and Muslim-majority Pakistan. Since then, Muslims have struggled to be treated equally. The Muslim population is not alone when it comes to facing financial inequality. Despite India's strong economic growth, more broadly, there is a large gap between the rich and the poor in the country. The World Poverty Clock tracker shows that there are more than 34 million people living in extreme poverty in India, surviving on around $2 a day. There have been some efforts to help Muslims to get better access to jobs. In 2019, the government implemented a 10% quota in public sector jobs and in education for the so-called economically weaker sections of society, which includes some Muslims.
We have empowered the people who are economically downtrodden, and if the Muslims be a part of it, they have been given the same facilities as has any Hindu or anyone else.
Ashfaq worries for his children's future and says he hopes that his situation will improve. Analysts say if the inequality is not addressed, simmering unhappiness can lead to social unrest. A thin silver lining is that the BJP's coalition allies don't necessarily support the party's Hindu nationalist ideas, which may tone down the divisive rhetoric in Indian politics going forward. Rebecca Bundhun, CNA, Mumbai.